Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, transvestites, I welcome you to one of my best gameplays I've actually ever got on the channel. And tonight I'm going to be using the Scarcely Lethal Ambassador, which I've just recently purchased, the Server Clearing Knife with 91 dominations, and my Dead Ringer, Normal Sapper, my Orange Linspector, my Black Rogue's Call Rule, and my Vintage Camera Beard, and I hope you enjoy. So just to warn you guys, this was quite an intense gameplay. I was actually quite happy for it. I don't do overly successful, but I thought I did a fantastic job considering that I play a very chaotic spy. I go for lots of risky moves and I don't stay alive for very long. But in this very gameplay you're watching now, I play a lot safer, I do a better job, and I convey a lot of psychological aspects of the spy. Now just a couple of things to note before we get into it. This is going to be one life. I got a few other lives, but I didn't want to have a gameplay that went over 11 minutes, because that would just be a little bit irritating to watch. So you'll see a couple of seconds before, I used a feign on that heavy to get behind the enemies, which is a really crucial part of playing spy. The positioning is very important. It's something that a lot of new players have a hard time dealing with. So I get a nice soldier pick there, and I didn't want to get too greedy, so I pretend I'm running for the health. I feign, collect this ammo box, make sure they're not following me, and then I'll retreat here to recuperate. See here, I'll just rest up a little bit, regenerate my cloak and my health, and particularly if you're not sure where the enemy is, it's a really good idea just to make sure you have full cloak and full health. So here I get a nice soldier pick, and these classes are just waiting for me to stab them in the back. Two easy picks, and guys, I gotta say, it's a very satisfying moment when you get some chain stabs like that. So here, I'm approaching the enemies head on, but I use this little corridor to my advantage, and perfectly timed, that pyro walks around, and I go, oh, well that's fantastic. So, expecting him to go down the stairs, he's a little bit clumsy, he doesn't expect that stair stab, I actually miss him, and I was going to follow him, but just in case he turns around, I wanted to be a little bit cautious, because guys, the pyro can deal a lot of damage in a short amount of time if you're not being careful. So here, I had a bit of a height advantage, none of the enemies really checking me. I see what I can find here. Our team's doing a good job of keeping people off the cart. I get a nice pick on that pyro. Here, I'm not quite sure what this undisguised spy was doing. He gets taken out by the mini-sentry, and we cross our fingers that he's not a dead ringer. So I jump up here to see what I can find. This engineer sees me, and hopefully I can get up behind him and use the same route that he took. So I round the stairs and I will find this pyro here with very low health, and I use the revolver quickly to take him out, get a nice headshot there. And guys, I must stress this, a lot of good spies do know this, but use your revolver, it's a fantastic tool. Definitely don't let it go to waste, it's fantastic against more vulnerable targets. So here I find a lone teleporter, I'm not quite sure what's going on, I don't see anyone making their way towards the payload by foot, so I just wait here to see what I can find. And if you spend too much time waiting for one of these, just take your first pick and then take out the teleporter right away. Because good players will report to their comrades that there is a spy around, and you don't want that. So, yet again, I'm pacing my way back. I find two spy cautious classes, but not to worry because I have the DR. I use that to make my way back. I'll collect a small ammo box here, and decloak out of the sight of their spawn. And when the enemy's advanced a few points, you can really dance around their spawn because you have this whole back area to use to your advantage. And a lot of good spies will use that to distract the enemies from the objective, and that's a really good thing. So this heavy spy checks the engineer, and I get found out. I could have got a stab on the engineer, but I don't, because I'm just playing the cautious spy, as I was saying earlier. So yet again, I recuperate here using the back area. I see this medic, see if I can distract him, actually don't get the shot on him. So yet again, I'll walk towards the enemies, and here I do a kind of poorly timed dead ringer. They're very spy cautious, which is a great thing. That shows that you're doing your job effectively, and that they're worried about their backs. So here a group of enemies comes together. I was going to round that corner and see if I could get a stab on that pyro, and that's a very integral part, something I want to cover right now. When you're dealing with pyros and they're at mid-range, or there's quite a lot of corners for you to flee, do not use your dead ringer right away as you see the pyro. Let him flame you a little bit, and when you get out of his view, use the dead ringer immediately, and then you won't be running around like a headless chicken. So you'll see at the bottom of my screen a couple of people are on the payload, and I want to make sure that I'm not spending the entire time distracting the enemies at spawn. So I take out that sniper who's using the Razorback, which for those of you who don't know, it's a kind of tribal looking shield that lots of the snipers use, and that will prevent one backstab. Anyway, so I see this pyro, and pyros are a fairly big priority. He wasn't facing me, but I felt like going for the stab anyway, because pyros are a threat to your survival. Now everybody, question this. If you watch that back, I got a nice stair stab. I actually even got the stab noise on his back. I can't even begin to comprehend how annoying that is. I didn't even get any trick stabs during this round, but that's okay. So anyway, the stabbing mechanism can be generous and sometimes it can be a little bit flawed. So I get a headshot on that pyro and he lights me on fire. I am being conservative, so I use my dead ringer to get back, get some health, and I actually jump in that teleporter by accident, but that's okay because there's a dispenser here to fill me right up, ready to go. And you'll see I'm just peering down at the ground there. A lot of people say that it's a bad idea for a spy to use teleporters, but I even recommend it. You want to get back there fast, you want to be getting as many kills as possible. But some people may argue that
Motherlymunkle, but when you use the teleporter, you get a particle effect on your feet and it ruins your disguise, Motherlymunkle.
well, I think that's totally bogus. Look, it only lasts a few seconds, so it's not that much of a con not to use the teleporter, so I recommend it. So here, this is a really excellent ambassador spot for any lone targets. I see that engineer, don't follow up with the kill. Spotting the sniper up here, and there's a little party up in that room. And I see that pyro, I want to get out of there right away. Fortunately, he doesn't calm down and he gets preoccupied with something else. So here I see a whole bunch of enemies, and I just love these moments as Spy. It happens every so often. They're just practically lending their back. It's like I'm some sort of public chiropractor. And I just, yeah. Okay, so anyway. So I jump back to spawn. I could have, gone back to retreats for some health over in that direction, but I figured it would be the safer route to come back here. And the enemy are pushing into the final point, and things are getting a little bit hectic. There's still 6 minutes on the clock, which in T Fortress terms is quite a bit. But I scout around there, I get a nice double on the heavy and medic on the point, and that's a great feeling. So here I don't trigger my dead ringer right away. I walk in as though I'm a pyro retreating for some health, and I trick that heavy and bite him right in the back. So here I retreat to this nice little alcove, and guys, when you're decloaking, find a nice little hideout like this. The walls will mask the sound and you can get right into the action right away without anyone knowing your location. So here I'm jumping up here with the height advantage, seeing what I can find, if I can get a few kills. Find this lone heavy, and I kill so many heavies during this. It was just so, it was like heavy time right in here. So anyway, I get flamed by that pyro and I jump right back to spawn. It's the safest route, particularly if you're flamed. And in some cases you can even lure the pyro into your teammates and you can get an assist, which is always lovely. One little note as I walk back to spawn, I was going to use a InvisiWatch gameplay for this series, as it is the vanilla spy. Getting back to the roots of spy is always important, but I figured I would use the dead ringer, because look, it was spontaneous. I just happened to be playing well. I was just sort of in the mood for some Team Fortress. I was using the dead ringer, and a lot of people use the dead ringer, so I figured either way would still be helpful to the viewers. So I get a feign here, jump right back into my hideout, and instead of going through the door, I was gonna cut out the recording, but I thought it sounded kind of funny. So here, I'm not quite sure what I was doing. I was kind of like a bit indecisive, not sure what to do. But in the end, I get spy checked, and I kind of felt bad for that. If only I could have jumped a little bit further onto the dispenser, I could have killed everybody, sapped the entire nest. That would have been nice. But sometimes some strange happenings occur in Team Fortress, and you just have to deal with it. So here, I use the blue cart as a dispenser for my ammo and health, which is a really great thing. Take out that mini sentry with the revolver, take out that medic. I think he was pretty aware of my location, but that doesn't matter. I get the assist on the heavy. Things were going pretty well for me during this gameplay, but I must say I was quite nervous. Your heart's really in your mouth when some of the risky stuff happens. You know you're recording, there's that stress, oh, I have to do a good job, and it's kind of constantly smothered all over your hands on the keyboard or something. And so here I thought that was a spy. I was fairly certain. It turns out it wasn't. So I'm just retracing my steps back to see what I could find, because we're doing an excellent job on the cart. See this spy, take him out with ease. See this burning dispenser, get a simple sap on that. And I was pretty sure I could go the entire round without dying, but things were getting a little bit tense, I must say. So I run back here after getting spy checked by that pyro. Again, to reiterate, I'm getting full health, full ammo, ready to go back to the battlefield. I collect that ammo box, which is really handy. That's a really great one to use. And here, unfortunately, my life is about to end. I kind of just stood there like a stunned mullet, and you'll see, just about there, the sniper takes me out with a body shot. That was really unfortunate. I almost jolted. I actually jumped off my chair and smashed my face on my keyboard. No, I didn't really do that, but I was quite upset. So that is, in fact, going to wrap up the commentary. I hope you've enjoyed and learnt something and taken something away today that you can use later on when you're playing Spy. And hopefully you can share this with your friends who are new coming to the game or are interested in playing Spy. It's one of my personal favorite classes. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I hope you have a good one. See ya.